If you grew up gay in a religious home, or with a family that made you feel like who you are was wrong, there are some truths you probably haven't faced yet. In this video, I'm going to share 3 things you're likely not ready to hear, but need to. Because healing isn't just about what you've left behind, it's about what you're still carrying. Number 1, you're not broken, but you are still living by the rules of people who made you feel like you were. Most gay men who were raised in religious homes or experienced family rejection have already done the surface level work of rejecting those teachings intellectually. You might know that being gay isn't a sin or that your parents were wrong, and that's huge. But what many gay men don't realize is that the emotional and behavioral programming is still running in the background. You might still walk into a room and scan for who's safe. You might still soften your voice, downplay your mannerisms, or over-explain yourself to strangers. You might still choose romantic partners who mirror the conditional love you got from your family. Partners who are hot and cold, who approve of you only when you behave a certain way. Even when the theology is gone, the template stays. Shame doesn't need to come from a pulpit anymore. It lives in your reflexes, your relationship patterns, your fear of being fully seen. You might not be in the closet, but you're still walking around with armor on, flinching from a world that once told you you were wrong just for existing. And here's the painful part. A lot of that conditioning feels like common sense. It feels like you're just being realistic, or trying not to be dramatic, or avoiding conflict. But it's actually learned self-abandonment. And you've been doing it for so long, you've mistaken it for maturity. You're not broken. You've just been playing by rules you never agreed to, written by people who never loved you unconditionally. Healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's about realizing you were never the problem. Number 2, your kindness isn't always love. It's often a trauma response. This one is hard because your ability to care for others, to empathize, to give, that's probably something you're really proud of. And you should be. But when you grow up in an environment where your safety, belonging, or sense of being lovable was conditional on obedience, on silence, on not being too gay, your nervous system learns something very specific. If I make myself useful, maybe I won't be left. And so now, as an adult, you overfunction in every relationship. You're the friend everyone calls when they're in crisis. You're the emotional support system for partners who give you crumbs. You forgive too fast. You don't express anger. You downplay your own needs. You may think you're just being a good person, but really, you're still bargaining. Still trying to prove, often unconsciously, that you're good enough to keep. The problem is, people start to expect that from you. They come to rely on the version of you who never complains, never asks for more, never says, hey, I matter too. And when you finally do set a boundary, or when you need something real, they pull away. And it confirms what that little gay boy inside you always feared. If I stop being what they want, they will leave. But here's the truth. Love isn't something you should have to perform for. It's something that should be offered freely to the full, messy, honest version of you. Not just the helpful, cheerful, convenient version. If people only value you when you're bending over backward, it's not love. It's a transaction. And you deserve more than that. Number 3, forgiveness is not the same as reconciliation. And you're not a bad person if you walked away. If you were raised in a religious household, especially in a Christian tradition, you were probably taught to idolize forgiveness, to turn the other cheek, to keep the peace, to honor your parents no matter what. And while there's something powerful and healing about forgiving others so you don't carry bitterness, that's not the same as pretending everything is okay. Some people are genuinely unsafe. Some people don't change. And more often than not, the people who hurt you, your parents, your church, your extended family, want you to do all the emotional labor of making things feel normal again while they continue to avoid accountability. So let's be clear. Choosing distance is not the same as being unforgiving. Sometimes the most radical act of self-respect you can make is walking away from someone who refuses to see or hear you. Not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough to stop begging for scraps. You might feel guilt about this. You might feel pulled back in by birthdays, holidays, that occasional I miss you text. But reconciliation takes two people who are both willing to take responsibility and make changes. If that's not happening, you're not choosing estrangement. You're honoring reality. And if that means losing people who gave you life but never gave you love, you are still allowed to grieve. You are allowed to feel sadness, anger, longing, even compassion. But you are not required to stay in toxic dynamics just because someone shares your DNA or goes to church every Sunday. You are not the difficult one for drawing a boundary. You are the one breaking the cycle. Thanks for watching. If you're a gay man and these conversations speak to you, go ahead and hit subscribe. I post new videos every week about the things we go through: love, identity, healing, and everything in between. I'd love to have you be part of this community. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.